Okay, Mr. Tai, you are good to go. You are now live, and now here come our beautiful learners. If you need anything, Nancy's there to assist you for the hour, okay?
You got it. Thank you.
You have a great class.
Thank you. Well, welcome, people. Hi, Emily. Hi, Jackie. I see Karen, Ken, Victoria, Marlene. Am I missing? Oh, Janice. Hi. Oh, my
Hello.
goodness. There's Diane Burke. Hi, Diane. My name is Ty, everybody. I'm going to be your guide today. Give it another minute or so to see who pops in. If you are comfortable turning on your display, I really appreciate it because it gives me feedback during the movement portion. And the more feedback I've got, the better I can guide you. And that's all what it's all about. What can I relate to you today that's going to be useful and help you? So let me bring up my slides and let's do some talk before we get started with the movement. Well, you're here today for Tai Chi for beginners. I also tend to call it easy Tai Chi because all Tai Chi, in my opinion, should be easy. And most of it is easy unless you're getting into the level of studying martial arts. If you were at my intro yesterday, I talked a little bit about the different types of Tai Chi, but we're not going to go down that road today. We're going to talk more about doing Tai Chi. Actually, we're going to do Tai Chi. So I mentioned my name is Ty. I live in Florida in a town called Lake Mary. It's just outside of Orlando. It's a suburb. Yes, I live near Disney World. Isn't that what everybody knows about Orlando? My education was a bachelor's of science in biology and psychology, and I did some computer science work at graduate school. And then I had a career in multiple directions. The one I retired from was a healthcare IT consultant, where I worked with hospitals to better utilize their systems and better train their users to utilize their system. I've trained and studied and practiced Kundalini Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Tai Chi, and therapeutic Qigong. And I'm here today to guide you through the Sung. It's spelled sun, but it's Sung Tai Chi forms and help you learn that practice. And over time, I hope to help you expand from just learning the movements, the mechanics, into a little bit of a deeper meditative practice, which is where you can take Tai Chi. But first, you got to get the mechanics. Get Set Up. That's our platform. That's who brought us all together. And Get Set Up is people helping people. We learn from each other. Ideally, we can see you and cameras are on. That's what I mentioned just a minute ago. But if you're not comfortable with that, turn the camera off, and maybe in a future class, you'll be more comfortable turning it on. You can request a recording after class. Only thing you have to do is email help@getsetup.io. But the best way is what you're doing today. Come in, book the class, and come in and participate during a live class. So you can watch on live stream, which we call Get Set Up TV. Be aware that Get Set Up and all the guides are not paid to promote any specific products. So if I mention a product, it's not being promoted. It's just something that I thought I'd share with you and mention. I'm going to mention something in a minute, so I would like to make sure you understand I'm not promoting anything. Now, we're not going to be doing any heavy exercise, but you know what? You should still check with your doctor. It's recommended to always check with your doctor prior to starting any new movement or exercise program, especially if you have any health conditions or are taking any medications. I think you'll find most doctors, if you say you're going to be taking a gentle Tai Chi course, is going to give you an attaboy or attagirl. They're not going to say don't do it. They might ask you some questions, and they might give you some warnings of limitations that you need to honor. But most of them are going to say, yes, please take Tai Chi. Today, we have some objectives. We're not going to go into this in detail. Just be aware that the class does have a focus and objective to get to. We want to develop more integration of your mind and body. That's what Tai Chi is all about. We bring breath and movement in sync with each other. And one that's important to me is improve the balance. We use postural alignment, body awareness to improve balance. I have balance issues due to a foot problem, and I really want to help myself prevent falls. Overall, we want to decrease the effects of stress. One of the benefits, one of the side effects of Tai Chi is you calm your mind. You learn how to initiate the relaxation response. The relaxation response relieves stress. Simple little formula there. You create stress in life, it's fact of life. Relaxation response is your body's way of dealing with it. You learn how to initiate the relaxation response anytime you do any gentle movement or gentle meditative practice. We're going to slow down. And when you slow down, you experience and enjoy life more in the moment. I like to just stop at it. You enjoy life more. And overall, you'll be healthier. You're going to help the body to work more efficiently with gentle movement. What a great deal that is. We do have an agenda in the beginner class, and that is Tai Chi for beginners today. We are going to learn a series of forms. If you've ever done yoga, you know the term asanas or exercises. Well, we're going to learn a series of what Tai Chi calls forms. If you've taken any Qigong, maybe with Ellen on Get Set Up, if you haven't, I highly recommend visiting with Ellen and taking some classes. But in Tai Chi, we take some of those Qigong forms, Qigong exercises, we call them forms, and we link them together in a sequence so that you go right from one to the next to the next. That's why it becomes a little bit of a slow dance, or I don't want to use the word dance, but a slow meditative movement. These are just the names of the ones we're going to learn over time. We're not going to learn them all today. It takes time. We're just going to go as far as we can in each class and see what we can learn. You'll be taught how to intermix them, mix them up, and create your own flow. Today, we're just going to go through one flow to the right and see how far we get. Don't panic. It's easy. You don't have to memorize anything. You just, I see a smile coming on one lady say, you don't have to learn anything. Just follow me. And over time, you will start to remember it. But in class, I will never leave you on your own. I will always guide you constantly through class. This is very important. We have practice guidelines. I'm just going to run through them quickly. Mindfulness, slow movement, postural alignment, weight separation, breath awareness, integrated movement, active relaxation, and mind-body principles. The reason I don't want to go into depth in this is because we're going to choose one each class to focus on. If you were in my intro yesterday, we focused on weight separation, which I equate to balance. Today, we're going to focus on postural alignment. Guess what? I also relate that to balance. So today, we're going to focus on your postural alignment. In postural alignment, the practitioner, that's you, maintains a focus on proper, natural standing postural alignment throughout the sequence. It means watch your posture. Keep it in a certain format, which we're going to talk about. This automatically helps with falls. It helps with balance. But you're constantly checking to see that the body is upright, the head is erect, the spine is comfortably aligned, and the shoulders balanced and relaxed. That word relax is very important. As humans in the 21st century, we have a tendency to tighten our shoulders with stress. They kind of inch up toward our ears. We have to learn how to relax those shoulders, release them, let them sort of slope down. I don't want to use that word. Just relax down. You want gentle, soft muscles in those shoulders and the shoulder blades. And we're gonna learn to do that. And you want the weight evenly distributed on the soles of the feet. You want to always be in balance. We don't want to ever physically get out of balance in our Tai Chi practice. Matter of fact, you cannot do Tai Chi wrong unless you get out of balance. Now, is there any other movement or exercise that ever tells you you can't do it wrong? In Tai Chi, you can't be wrong if you're in balance. While moving, the body always remains in an upright position and the shoulders remain aligned over the hips. There's your alignment rules. And we'll talk about that more in class. But now let's get busy and practice some Tai Chi. First of all, let me point out, you can be standing, you can be seated, or you can stand with a chair handy for support. I have foot problems. I have peripheral neuropathy. And if you know anything about that, you know that means you don't have a lot of feeling or you have no feeling in your feet. There's times my balance is off and I keep a chair handy while I'm standing in case I need just a little momentary support just to touch it and move on. I actually went through teacher training as a yogi. I did all my teacher training as a yoga instructor with a chair nearby because all the balance postures required me to have something to touch. So feel comfortable having a chair handy. Touch it when you need to touch it. Be safe. Always be safe. Wear loose-fitting clothes because we're going to be moving. You know, we're not going to be doing a lot of fast moves. It's all slow, but we are going to be moving, and you want your clothes to be relaxed on you. I suggest indoor shoes. Don't wear your outdoor shoes. Have a clean pair of shoes that you wear because you're in your house. You don't want to be tracking dirt around. You can actually buy, and here's the plug that I didn't want to be guilty of plugging. You can buy inexpensive Tai Chi shoes, and they're available for purchase, usually online. I haven't found them at any of the sport goods stores near my house, though you might. But I was able to find them online. I bought some at Amazon. And I'm going to leave the slides now and show you my shoes. We've had some more people join. Welcome, everybody. Now, these are Tai Chi shoes. You know that you notice they're very thin and they look somewhat delicate. You see mine got dirty. They're in European sizes, so even though I live in the US, I wear a size 44. I thought these were, when I bought them about 8 years ago, I figured, oh my goodness, they're going to last a week or two and fall apart. You know what? 8 years old and still going, even though they feel flimsy. I guess the fact you never wear them outside, you only wear them when you practice. Now, you don't have to have these. You can wear tennis shoes or any comfortable shoes to practice in. That's all you need. You can practice in socks or barefoot if you want to, but I highly recommend shoes because they grip. And you do want a little bit of gripping. These don't grip as much as tennis shoes. So I'm going to switch and put mine on. One reason I love having them is it sort of tells me, hey, the shoes are on. You're starting your Tai Chi practice. So let me get some music going. Has anybody done Tai Chi before? You can raise your hand or you can put up a thumbs up or something. Okay. You may find that it was a different form. I'm going to be teaching Sung style. You may have been taking another style. That's great. But if I use terminology to describe the same thing, but different words or different names, that's the only reason. It came from a different tradition, a different school. I'm going to make me spotlight it for you guys so you can see me. Now you should have a good view of me. Okay. Oh, I didn't start the music. Let's get that going. Okay, I've got some soft music going because that really always enhances the practice. Personally, I don't care what soft music you use, but I highly recommend you use some soft music because it kind of, like putting on the shoes, it kind of sets the mood that, hey, I'm in my practice, and soft music sort of guides you through. Other things is have water. It's always good to have water nearby. I think that's all the requirements, nothing too strenuous there. So before we talk about postural alignment, let's just talk about the first form. Am I talking loud enough to go over the music? Is that good or? Okay, good. If my voice drops, let me know because sometimes the microphone goes away from my mouth, and I don't realize it. So come standing or seated, but if you're standing, let's start with your ankles right below your hips. Now, if that's uncomfortable because you need a little bit wider stance, just step out a little bit. Give yourself a little bit wider stance. That's fine. The way the perfect stance is the toes to point straight forward. I have hips that do not support that. So my toes point out a little bit. If you have those sorts of hips, feel free to let your toes point out a little bit. Like I say, the rules are what serve you in balance. So I'm in good balance when my feet are maybe an inch or two wider apart than hips and the toes point out. But you do want to be squared off. You don't want to be leaning forward or leaning back. You want to be nicely squared off. You want to kind of sink in the knees a little bit. Make those knees a little soft. The shoulders right over the hips. And during the entire process, you want to keep that torso in sync with itself. You want the torso to always be in sync. You don't want to like start twisting the knees, twisting the torso in odd ways. Keep the torso in one movement and pretty much together. The head goes with the torso usually. This is your postural alignment. Part of postural alignment is your balance. So you want to be balanced on both feet. You want to just lean back and forth. You'll feel your balance shifting. I'm still in postural alignment, but I'm letting my center of gravity shift. Now, if you tuck your chin just a little bit, when you tuck your chin, your neck vertebra, the cervical vertebra, straight. That's not a heavy tuck, it's just a little tuck. And if you take your tailbone and drop it a little bit, you'll rotate your hips a little, and that'll bring your lumbar vertebra into a straighter position. Once you take all these steps, starting by stretching the head to the sky before you tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, soften the knees, let the arms kind of fall forward a little bit, not back or to the side, but forward a little bit. Soft shoulders. We call this universal posture. This is always the starting point. That's a long phrase, universal posture. So I tend to call it Wuji. So when I say find your Wuji, I'm suggesting that you come into universal posture. Little soft knees. We don't do bent knees. That's other forms of Tai Chi. They're more in martial arts. In Sung style, the knees are just soft, a little spongy. And you're going to find that as you move, you kind of straighten the legs and then go back into the soft knees. I kind of do that with inhale and exhale. Often the inhale is, and the exhale is soften the knees. And I try to remember to use that exhale as, hey, soften the knees. Just kind of a reminder. So come into your Wuji. By the way, you've learned your first form. This is in itself a meditative posture. If you want to really develop this as a meditative process or practice, you can come into your Wuji and enjoy the meditation, enjoy the breath, maybe for 2 or 3 minutes before you start your practice. Okay, the first form we need to study now is called commencement form or commencing form. The commencement form is basically a step forward. The first part of studying that is to learn the upper body portion. So for the upper body, you're going to raise the arms, rotating the shoulders. And then you're just going to bring them down. Your arms are not stretched. It's not stretched out. It's soft. The elbows are soft. The wrists are soft. Hey, even the knuckles are soft. So it's up and down. There's a rule of 70 that says always do everything 70% of your maximum. So if your arm stretches to there, you should be around 70 to 75, 80% extended. There was a joke that in my training, that the rule is actually 80%. But when they're teaching people from North America, they tell them 70 because nobody in North America knows how to do anything by the standard. They always try to overachieve. So if you ask a Canadian or an American or a Mexican to do 70%, you'll get 80. So inhale up and exhale down. Allow the knees to soften in that exhale. Inhale. You might stretch up a little bit with the legs and then relax them down. Never stretch the legs to their fullest. Inhale and exhale. Nice. Inhale and exhale. Now the next part of this is as the hands come into the hands went up, the hands come down. They're sort of near the belly button at this point or even a little lower. Well, the hands come up the belly and the chest. So let's do that. Start in your Wuji. Inhale up. Exhale, draw the letter U with your hands. See how I'm drawing the letter U? It comes down to my belly button and comes up the chest. That's your exhale. Nice. Come back to your Wuji. Inhale. Exhale and draw your U. Now, I actually don't care when you inhale and exhale, but I'll tell you when I'm doing it in case you like my pattern and it works for you. But if you have another pattern, if you want to inhale and exhale up, and you want to inhale and exhale down to draw your U, go for it. Just breathe. Don't hold your breath. So let's do that one more time. Find your Wuji. Inhale and exhale. Let me change the setting so I can see more of you guys. The screen is restricting me from seeing as many of you as I'd like to. Ah, that's much better. See so many nice spaces. Okay. Let's add to that motion. We're still in the commencement form. So find your Wuji. Inhale. Exhale. Draw your U. And your hands should be basically around your chest. And you're going to extend the arms out. Remember 70%. Bend your elbows and bring the arms back in. One more time. From the Wuji. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the U. Reach out. Reach back in. Nice. Doing great. Now that's the upper body part of commencement. Let's talk about the lower body part for a minute. The lower body is pretty simple, but it deals with the weight separation that I talked about yesterday. I don't want to go into detail today, but I will in a future class. But with the weight separation, it's all about balancing where your center of gravity is. So for the commencement form, you're going to bring your weight over to your right foot. So it's kind of a lean. You know, here's my center of gravity, and I'm just leaning over to that right foot. What's nice about that is when you are firmly on that right foot, that left foot is easily picked up and put back down, keeping your balance. Because you've got your weight on the right foot. So that left foot's free. What we're going to do is bring your weight to the right foot. We're going to lift that foot, and we're going to take a small step. Your left heel goes down and touches the floor, basically parallel to your right toe. And then bring the foot flat, ending on your toe, and you come forward on that left knee. So let's do that again. Bring your weight to your right foot. Lift the left foot, step out, small step, heel, toe. And now I'm on that, I've come forward and I'm basically pushing into that left knee. I'm trying to get you guys a good perspective. But yeah, my weight now, instead of being back here, my weight has shifted toward that left knee. When your weight in the sequence is on one foot or the other, that's kind of a clue that the foot you've just taken the weight off of is going to do something. We're putting our weight on the left foot because the right foot's going to do something. So let's let that right foot do something. Let's come back to Wuji. Bring your weight to your right foot. Step out forward with the left foot. Bring the weight to the left foot. Come forward with that weight till you're firmly on the left foot, and bring the right foot to join it parallel. There's your step forward. It's a small step. It's not this. It's not like, hey, I'm really trying to race in my walking today. It's not power walking. It is a very short, brief step. Just heel around the left heel around the right toe, firmly on that foot. Bring the right foot to join, and you're back with the feet parallel, but you're one step forward. We need to combine that. Let me show you how it combines. I'm going to turn sideways. So I bring the arms up. I draw my U. As the hands come up my chest, I'm moving my weight to the right foot. Then I step out with the left as I reach forward. My weight now is firmly on the left foot, and I bring the right foot to join the left, and my hands come into my chest. So let me do that again for you, and then I'll have you join me. So I'm inhaling, I'm exhaling, I'm drawing the U, I'm stepping forward, I'm extending my hands, my weight's on my left foot, I bring the right to join it, and my hands are back to my chest. That's the most complicated form we're going to do today. Everything else is simple. We do have some other complicated ones, but we're probably not going to get to them today. So commencement is basically, I'm going to do it very quickly, just basically a step forward. Consider the speed I'm doing it, not the best speed. Consider if you decide to practice at home for, say, maybe 5 minutes a day, slow it down. Go even slower than I'm teaching. You cannot go too slowly with Tai Chi. The slower, the better. So the slower you make your movement, the more you're going to get out of Tai Chi. When we get into the other principles, you'll start understanding why. So find your Wuji. Remember, Wuji is basically hips over ankles unless you decide to widen the ankles. Shoulders over hips. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, soften the knees and soften the shoulders. And there you are in your Wuji. So we'll start with Wuji. Take just nothing but an inhale and exhale with me. Just inhale and exhale. Now let's commence. The commencement form is inhale. Exhale, you draw the U. You're softening the knees. As the hands come up the chest, your weight goes to the right foot and you step out with the left. Weight goes to the left foot and your arms come forward. The right foot comes to join the left and your hands come back into heart center. Beautiful. I told you it was simple. This is simple. Remembering it isn't always simple. The first time you do it, remembering it might be the challenge, but with practice, if you come to class often, all of a sudden you'll remember it and be able to do it on your own between classes if you should so choose. I have people who will start practicing every day between classes, and I have other people who only want to practice in class. And you know what? That's fine. You do what serves you the best. But either way, repeatedly coming and doing it with me, you will start building that mind-body connection, and you will stop thinking about the mechanics so much. Now, don't get me wrong. For the next few weeks, you're going to be so focused on the mechanics that is what your practice is. Don't sweat it. That is the first step. So study try to remember the mechanics. Come back with me as often as you can. We're going to always practice them in class, and we're going to keep adding on to it each week. So the next form is a very easy form. I'm going to come forward just so that you can see my hands. I want you to bring your hands in front of you, maybe around the heart center, and not straight hands. That's straight palms. That's a stretch in yoga. I want you to make a soft palm, or it's like you're holding a ball. Maybe you're holding a soccer ball or a small beach ball or something. Maybe 5 or 6 inches between the palms. And I want you to imagine, just imagine that there's energy. You don't have to believe in chi energy to do Tai Chi. Don't worry about it if you don't. But there is energy in the body, whether you consider magnetism, electrical impulses between the nerves, there is energy. So imagine that there is energy transferring from palm to palm. Oh, I'm in front of the wrong camera. There's my problem. There's energy, and I want you just to imagine it. You don't have to believe in it. Just imagine there's energy flowing from finger to finger, palm to palm. And this energy is not just flowing, it's starting to rotate. So you got a ball of energy rotating between the palms. So when you inhale and expand your hands, maybe take them out to 8 inches, you're pulling that energy apart. You're stretching it like you would taffy. Matter of fact, you start to feel the taffy pull. And then as you exhale, bring the hands back to like the 4 or 5 inches. You're pulling taffy energy. That's the way I like to look at it. So to me, it's an inhale and an exhale. We call that the open-close form. So you can see that's pretty simple compared to the commencement. We use it as a separator. As we're flowing through our forms, we will come back, do an open and close, and then do another form. So the open and close, or the energy ball, however you want to remember it, is very important because we use it to separate all the other forms typically. So let's add that at the end of our commencement. Now that you guys are, you really got commencement down, let's add on to it with an open close. So come back to your Wuji. Remember, stretch your head up to the sky. Tuck your chin a little, just a little. Tuck your tailbone just a little. Soften your knees. Stand straight. Inhale with me, one breath. Inhale. And exhale. And commencement form. Rotate at the shoulder. Soft arms. Soft joints. And down as you exhale, soften in the knees. Hands come up the chest. As the weight goes to the right foot, and you're going to step out with the left foot, heel first. Touch the toe down as your hands come forward. Bring the foot in, the right foot in as the hands come in. You finish commencement, but now we do an open and close. Open and close. I cannot do open and close without a breath. You may be different, but for me, this has to be an inhale and an exhale. And on the exhale, I soften my knees again. Let's do that again, but I want to stand sideways because I want to tell you what's a good thing and what's a bad thing when we do this. But I want to demo to you. So I'm going to be doing it from the side. So from your Wuji, let's do the commencement where you inhale and bring the arms up. Draw your U, soften the knees, weight to the right foot and step out with the left. Keep the back straight for your postural alignment. As you reach forward, we have a tendency to do this. We have a tendency to want to put the back into the lean forward. Don't do that. Make sure you keep your postural alignment. There's your balance. There's your good posture. I'm firm on my left knee and foot, so I'm in perfect balance to bring that right foot forward. That is your postural alignment. And don't get me wrong, you're going to catch yourself doing it. You're going to be doing one of the forms, and you're going to find yourself doing this. I still do it. If I do, please call it out to me and remind me, because it's a constant effort to train yourself. Don't give in to that natural instinct of reaching forward, because that's how we fall. That's how we grow in balance and possibly fall. I shouldn't say we will fall, but that's how we get out of balance, and that's where you bring in possibility of doing something you don't want to do. And that's not proper Tai Chi. Tai Chi is in balance. As I said earlier, you can only do it wrong if you do it out of balance. So let's go back to our Wuji. Inhale and start your commencement. Exhale, draw your U, bring your foot weight to the right foot and step out with the left. Step forward, reach forward, bring that right foot to join. Bring the hands into heart center and open and close. I think you're ready for the next form. The next form is called single whip. Single whip, I believe, exists in every school, every type of Tai Chi, but it may be done a little differently in some of them. So if I teach you single whip, that's a little different than when you studied Yang form or Chin form. It's just a different school. But in this class, we'll do it my way, Sung style. Because Sung style is gentle and flowing and perfect for seniors. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but I'm a senior, so I do the Sung style. So single whip, we can actually start from the energy ball. That's what's nice about having connector form. So inhale, open your energy ball or your open and close form, and close. Beautiful. For single whip right, bring your weight to the left foot. So I think I mentioned earlier that if you put your weight to one foot, it probably means we're going to do something with the other foot. Well, we're going to turn our torso 45 degrees to the right. Actually, I'll go your opposite. I'm going to try to get the rights and lefts, so hopefully I can mirror you. So turn 45 degrees to the right with your weight on your left foot. You're going to lift that right foot and you're going to step out at 45 degrees. Same thing with the heel. Bring your weight to that foot, keeping your back nice and straight. Turn your palms away from you and push to about 70% of your reach. Now, when I say push, it's like you pretend there's an energy barrier there, a little energy wall, and you're pushing that energy wall. Nice. That's single whip. Let's do that again. Come back to Wuji. Find your open and close. Open and close. Weight to your left foot. Turn 45 degrees to your right. Step out to your right heel, toe. Turn your hands away and push the single whip. Nice straight back. Most of us are, I shouldn't say most, some of us are tending to lean forward. Don't do that. Really work on getting your back nice and straight. You know, might be something we have to work on. My back isn't as straight and balanced as I wish it would be, so I'm going to work on that. Let's start at Wuji. Let's go through the whole sequence because you guys now have 4 forms. You've got Wuji, you've got commencement, you've got open and close, and you've got a single whip to the right. So we're progressing quite a bit. So find your Wuji. Wuji means standing tall. Tuck your chin. Tuck your tailbone. Soften your knees. Soften your shoulders. And breathe. Just breathe for a moment into your abdomen. Not your chest, but breathe into your abdomen where you'll take in even more oxygen by doing it. So, like I say, this could be a meditative posture. Depending on the strength of your back, I have to take ibuprofen on occasion. So sometimes I can't hold this meditative posture for an extremely long time because of a little back strain. But do what you're comfortable with. Now a nice deep inhale with me and exhale. Commencement form. Inhale, arms come up to chest or shoulder level, soft arms. Exhale, they come down and they draw you. Weight goes to the right foot and you step out with the left. You reach forward, nice straight back and balance. Bring the right foot forward to join. The hands come in for an open and a close. And on the close, you soften those knees again. Single whip right. Bring your weight to the left foot. turn 45 degrees to the left. The heel comes out, and you lift the left foot, and the heel comes out and comes down flat as the hands push the energy wall. Again, not a big step. My left heel is basically as far forward as my right toe. So it's not a giant step. And don't lean into it. Keep a nice straight back. Oh, you're all doing great. Beautiful. And relax down. Oh, wonderful. I think that's as far as we're going to do new stuff today. So let's practice that a few more times. Come into your Wuji. Wuji is also called universal posture. But you know what? You don't need to remember that. I'll remind you. But if you studied another form of Tai Chi, they might be using another word. They might be calling it universal posture or something else. Inhale with me and exhale. That exhale is a reminder to relax. Relax into your body. Actually, every exhale in your life can be a reminder to relax. So commencement form, inhale, arms come up to about shoulder or chest height, soft, and down. Drawing the U. The U comes up your chest as your weight goes to the right foot. You step out with the left, heel first, put the weight on that foot, the arms come forward, the right foot comes to join, the hands come into the chest and open and close. Single whip right. Weight goes to the left foot, turn to the right, the heel comes down, the foot goes flat, the weight is on the right foot, and you push the energy ball. Now, you may notice that when you're standing in Wuji pose and you put the weight on the left foot and turn 45 degrees, that your hip gets a little tight. The way to handle that is turn the left heel out just a little bit. It's hard to see on this screen, but I'm standing like this. But when I know I'm going into single whip and I'm going to bring the weight to the left foot, I put my left heel out just a little bit before I do the turn. I don't know if I can show that any better because of the perspective. But if my heel is back in my Wuji portion, then I'm kind of getting tight in the hip. But if I bring that heel out just a little, I just pivot on the toe, bring that heel out just a little, then when I turn, my hips are comfortable. Now that may be different for you because we all have such different pelvises, but for some of us, it's very handy to do that little tweak with the heel. Do what makes it comfortable for you to keep you in balance. Okay, back to your Wuji. Let's do 2 inhales. Just nice and slow. Inhale slowly. And exhale and release slowly. One more of those before we start. Inhale. And exhale. Commencement form. Rotate the shoulders. As the hands come down, they're going to start to draw you. As the hands come up your chest, your weight comes to the right foot. You step out with the left. Find your balance. When that weight comes on the left foot, reach the hands forward. Bring the right foot to join the left. And elbows come down in your back for your open and close. Single whip to the right. I'm going to shift my left heel out just a little. I'm going to turn my torso to the right 45 degrees. Lift my right foot, step out with that heel and put it on the floor. As my weight comes down on that right knee, I'm going to turn my hands away and I'm pushing that energy curtain away. But notice how imbalanced you are. If your weight is solid on that right knee, you can extend your arms and still be in very good balance. Now come back in. It's all about balance. One of the symbols of Tai Chi, and I'm sure some of you have seen it, is the yin yang, where they have like a white teardrop and a black teardrop. That's balance of things, whether it's yin yang or everything seems to exist in the world, in the universe, in some sort of balance. But if you look closely at that yin yang, the white teardrop has a little bit of black. The black teardrop has a little bit of white, because in all balance, nothing is perfect. And Tai Chi teaches that. We come to balance, but we also have to understand that nothing is perfect. We achieve balance the best we can. I love that symbol. And it comes in all kind of pretty symbols too. I wish I could have a nice big one for the wall here. That's a good idea. I need to go shopping for that. Okay, come back into your Wuji. Emily, I keep looking at your backdrop and I just love it. Seriously, that is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, Brenda, yours too. Look at that, those beautiful flowers. Both of you have all these beautiful flowers. Wonderful. Oh, wait a minute. What did I? Felice, look at that butterfly. Oh, so nice. Hopefully I'll get to know you better over time. But now I'm going to have to go find a nice backdrop. I can't, do this without having a nicer backdrop now. So, okay, find your Wuji. Inhale slowly and exhale. Commence. Rotate your shoulders. Draw your U. Hands come up the chest as your weight goes to the right foot, and you're going to step out with the left. Get your balance and weight on that left foot and reach forward. Bring that right foot to join, and the hands come back to chest, and you open and close. Nice. Single whip to the right. Turn 45 degrees to the right. Step out with the right foot and get your weight on that foot. Turn the hands away and push the energy wall. Just push. Nice. Wonderful. I think we're nearing the end of the session, so we need to shut down the movement for a minute so that we can have time for going over a couple of things. If you want to have a seat, go right ahead. I'm going to shift away from the movement and bring up my slides again, which means finding my glasses. If you have water, now's a good time to grab a sip. Okay. Stop my sharing. Not sure why my stop sharing button went away. Or I'm sorry, I need to start sharing. You can probably tell I'm relatively new to get set up. I'm getting all the technology down. It's just taking me a little bit. Okay, let's okay. As a summary, I want you to remember that Tai Chi is a slow, mindful movement practice. So feel free to slow it down. As slow as you can do it, as slow as you enjoy it. Maybe when you're learning the functional movements, the mechanics, you might want to go a little quicker to get it down until you build that brain-body connection. But eventually, the goal is to slow it down and enjoy the meditative movement. The class time, this is when I teach you the form. This is when I teach you the mechanics and exercise you in the mechanics. If you are willing to practice outside of class, this is where you can slow it down and turn it into your own meditative practice. You enjoyed it whichever way you want. I've done it both ways. When I first started studying Tai Chi, I just focused on the mechanics for a while. Didn't even practice between class. I still got quite a bit out of it. I recommend if you can just practice 5 minutes a day, maybe first thing in the morning or before bed, or it's great before bed because it kind of sets you in the mood to relax. Include music with the practice. Any soft, easy listening music. Even I love using classical. I love using nature sounds. Whatever you find relaxing. Maybe you can call it your private time. I love using Tai Chi as a metaphor for life. In Tai Chi, we do embrace challenges. We're learning something new. We're changing our behavior. We're working on our posture, among other things. We're also slowing down. And it's a lesson we all need to learn in life, is to slow down and actually enjoy it. What's it? Slow down and smell the roses. We need to enjoy life in the present moment. We maintain focus. Tai Chi teaches us to focus, or exercises us to focus. Maybe that's a better word. And we learn to slow down our breath, make it a little deeper. And maybe you can relate to some of that. Now, I want to say thanks. I'm a new teacher to get set up. I really am so thrilled that all of you showed up. Really makes me feel good that you're interested in Tai Chi. And we want you to share your experience. So if you would like to tell your story of something you enjoyed or something you did, we want to hear it. If you're on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, or if you're not, if you want to share your story and let someone else put it on the social media platforms, just email it to Liz, Liz, at getsetup.io. Liz is our social media person at Get Set Up, and she will take care of it. Just share your information with her. Now, there's other related classes. Slow flow yoga. I consider Qigong to be Chinese yoga and Tai Chi to be flowing Qigong. It's kind of like what we call yoga, which came from India, and slow flow yoga from India. So slow flow yoga is a similar concept to Tai Chi. It can be taught different ways, just like Tai Chi can be taught. I really highly recommend you check out our slow flow yoga. We have some great morning fitness classes with Stacy that you might want to try. And it's not on this slide. I need to change it. We have Qigong with Eileen. If you have not done a Qigong class with Eileen, please try it. She's a great teacher. It's very enjoyable. I just had someone email me earlier today and tell me how much they enjoyed her Ageless Grace class. It's definitely an event if you'll try her Ageless Grace class. Now, for me, my next class that I hope you'll attend is come back and join me for Tai Chi for beginners. We'll have another class next Saturday. It's not on the schedule now. I've been asking. They need to get that on a repeating schedule. But as soon as it appears, I hope you'll register for it. And maybe since this is filling up, they'll grant me another day and time so I can teach one during the week too. I've put in to teach a new class called Tai Chi Shibashi. If you've ever done Shibashi, then you understand the benefit. If not, I invite you to come to my Tai Chi Shibashi class. In Tai Chi Shibashi, I don't ask you to learn or memorize anything. In every class, I ask you just to follow along. Just follow me through the Shibashi sequence every class. It's not as much flowing, even though you do 18 movements in sequence. It's not really flowing, but it's intended to give you 18 movements that are very therapeutic. Great to do every morning. I would love to have Tai Chi Shibashi every day of the week in the morning to share with you guys. It would benefit me as much as it would you. Now, after class, I'm going to send you some class notes. I'm going to give you some information from class today. I'm going to give you the list of forms. What I'd like to do that I don't have ready today, but I'll have in a future class, is start sending out detailed descriptions of how you do each form. Probably not in the same class notes, but maybe each class notes I'll send out one heavy-duty description of this is how you do this form. So I'm working on that. But today what you'll get will be a list of my principals list of the forms and a few more things I talked about. Along with those class notes, you'll get a list of classes you might be interested in, and all you have to do is click on them to register for them, or book them, I think it's called. And there's a feedback button. and we really want your feedback. The default is 4 stars. Now, I'm not suggesting anything, but I am pointing out, feel free to make that 5, okay? You know, if you've got the urge, just up it to 5. Or if you want to make it 3 or 2, but if you don't give the 4, please explain why, because the only way me or any of the guides can improve is if we know what your opinion was. So please share it, because one thing we want to get set up is to keep expanding and keep improving. If you've been in the Get Set Up family, you know they're going through a massive growth spurt. They don't want to, and I say they because I'm new, they and me moving forward, we don't want to lose quality. We want to make sure that every class you take is a quality experience. So the Get Set Up community, and believe me, it's a big community. I'm amazed when I see the statistics of what Get Set Up is doing worldwide. Most of us are in the US, not all of us. I know some of you guys are international, and that's wonderful. But if you're in the US community, we kind of think we're kind of narrow scoped, thinking that we're the big guys. You know what? We're not. India has 3 times as many classes as we do, 3 times as many students as we do. This Get Set Up is growing worldwide. And the wonderful thing about that is we're going to get teachers from around the world working with us in the US. And we, as the US teachers, are going to be able to get more of you who's from Britain and Australia and Canada and India. I mean, how great is that? So spread the word among your friends. You're the best people to talk about it. If you like it, tell your friends to come join you. I love getting people to come to classes with me. It seems to be there's a synergy in sharing and enjoying it together. We also have what's called interest groups. If you have an interest, maybe you love growing beautiful red roses. I see those behind me. Maybe you love growing, or maybe you help propagate those beautiful butterflies. I can't remember what the other image is. It's not in front of me. But whatever your interest is, maybe you love white wines. Maybe you love wines from a certain region of France. Host an interest group. All you do is be the host, and everybody gets together and talks about it. I'm thinking of hosting an interest group on Labrador Retrievers. I think it would be great to have an hour of, we all get together and talk about how great our Labrador Retrievers are. So anything you enjoy, host an interest group. And of course, if there's a class we don't have on Get Set Up, please suggest it. We want to know what you're interested in, because that's where we get the ideas. And if in passing you want to mention that you'd like a Tai Chi Shibashi, it would hurt to help me get mine on the agenda. So SHIBASHI, just mentioning that. And by the way, we partner with assisted care, senior living, government, and community organizations. That's who keep these programs going so that we can offer them for free. So if you're in one of those organizations, share the name with us. help@getsetup.io. Tell us that we should be talking to your organization to see if we can get them to partner with us. And of course, today's session was recorded. So if you want a copy of it, all you have to do after class is go to email help@getsetup.io and tell them you'd like a copy of the recording. They'll set you up, and you can tell them your ideas of new classes. Now, if you need help booking another class, just stay on, and we'll be glad to help you. Okay, any questions? Let me make sure this is open for dialogue. I'm going to stop sharing this. Bear with me so I can have more control. And by the way, I forgot to mention Nancy at Get Set Up was with us today, and she's our technical person, and she monitors the chat. Hi, Nancy.
Yeah, there is a question. Janice is asking, can you spell the other Tai Chi?
Spell out the Tai Chi, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah. Shibashi, they're wanting to know the word after Tai Chi that I was using. Shibashi, or it's also pronounced Shubashu. SHIBASHI. So it's SHIBASHI. S-H-I. It actually is Chinese for 18. 18 forms. So Shibashi, S-H-I-B-A-S-H-I, Tai Chi Shibashi. There's those beautiful violet flowers I saw earlier. Now I see them. They're behind Brenda. Oh my, everybody's got, look at the skies behind Janice. Beautiful. Wow.
Excuse, oh, Ty, hi.
Yes.
Excuse me, I had to step out for a moment, but I enjoyed the class. However, I have a question. Your class is only going to be offered on Saturdays?
At this time, I'm just starting. So the first offering was going to be on Saturday. I'm hoping it'll be well attended enough that they'll grant me another session or two during the week.
Oh, great. Okay.
I hope. Felice, was
Yes.
that who's talking? Was Felice?
Yes.
Put in that request. Send an email to help@getsetup.io and say you'd like it at other times.
Yes, I will. Thank you. I really
you.
enjoyed it. I had to step out briefly periodically, but I really did enjoy it because I take Qigong as well. But oh, I had a question also. I was trying to register for your class, but they said it was booked.
Yep.
And another session was booked. However, thank God, luckily I was able to get in today. So is there a maximum?
Right now, the
Well,
maximum
cap,
is,
I'm sorry, cap
yes,
that's on it?
there is a cap right now of 30. I don't know if it's going to stay at 30 or not, but again, put in the request and tell them you had trouble getting in. They listen.
Okay.
And thank you, Felice. Thank you for trying and getting in. If someone cancels, that opens up a slot and you can get in. So please,
Yes.
I
Thank you.
appreciate your effort to your struggle to get in. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions, everybody, before we close it? Because we're kind of going over the hour. I don't want to hold everybody up.
Just a quick one.
Sure.
It will typically, when you're starting something like this, twice a week would be better. And then just doing those brief practices yourself daily would be your
I
suggestion.
like that. Yeah. I would love to have at least 2 classes that you could join me in and then practice on your own in between. And then eventually down the road, open up a next level beyond the beginner.
Okay.
So Brenda, put in the request.
Yes, they're pretty good about opening up more slots if they get enough requests. So certainly we'll join in doing that. Thank you.
I think because this was new,
Yes.
this might have been testing the waters this week. I'm going to contact my director and chat with her about it because we need to have it at least scheduled for next week so you could leave right now and book it. But they'll get it recurring and that'll stop being an issue. But I think once they test the waters and you guys are interested, and share with what time of day and which day you'd like, and maybe we can support you in that. You know, Nancy says, thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the session. Oh, Janice is here from England. Welcome from England, Janice. Cool. You're the one with that nice landscape behind you. Okay, it's time, so I'm going to end the session, but watch for my notes to be emailed to you, and I hope to see you next week on Saturday. Okay? Take care. Do a little practice this week, you know.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.